Hello and welcome back to Gray's Gardening. My name is Gray. This is my channel showing you what I'm growing, what I'm sowing, how I'm growing it, when I'm growing it, and showing you just a few little tips and tricks along the way. So I just want to say a massive big thank you to all my new subscribers. Feels like it wasn't that long ago. I was aiming for 100 subscribers. I've now got 230, so thanks very much. Aiming for the 300 next. So if you haven't yet subscribed, please do and put that thumbs up for me. It really does help the channel. So today my main aim is to trim the grapevine. But first of all, I just want to show you a few little bits and bobs from the plot of what's grown really well. Okay, so first of all, here's the figs. They are swelling up lovely right now. I've counted, there's over 100. I don't know whether that's sad or not, but it's the biggest crop of figs I've ever had. So just thought I'd show you this. Really, really doing well. Then of course, anyone who's been watching my channel knows about my apricots, and we've got about 10 this year. Just zoom in on them, be able to see them. The raspberries, these are the original raspberries, which is Loganberries and Tayberries all mixed in. Yellow ones, red ones, summer fruiting, autumn fruiting. That has gone a bit overgrown, but I'll still get plenty of raspberries from them. Here's my gooseberries. These are the red gooseberry, which once they're ripe, you basically just, oh, there's a little spider there. You basically just pick them off and eat them like a grape. Some nice strawberries, really beginning to show and swell now. I reckon maybe a month we'll have some strawberries. One of my favourite plants, which is the Gunnera manicata. Look at the size of those leaves, already huge. But he is still very pot bound, so I will be planting him into the ground soon and potentially splitting him. Gonna have to then just come around here, just show you, basically cut it down the middle. That should be fun. The cloud topiary hedge, box hedge, he is going to be going in the ground there, so I've dug that hole ready. My topiary stag, which is going to be a reindeer. His legs really are starting to take shape now, and I think I'll be able to start trailing this over to make a bit of the body and then get some kind of body shape ready for this year. My new kiwi, this is the green kiwi, which is smooth skinned, and I planted him in here only the other day and he's already started climbing up. So I think this is going to be quite a vigorous grower. Never grown him before, not sure what he's going to do. Then finally, before we get started, thought I'd show you the banana trees. All looking very healthy, all starting to send out these new leaves. And you can see, can I see inside one? Maybe this one. There we go. So it just keeps sending up a new leaf through the middle, and then another one will come from inside that as it just keeps opening up. So looking very good. Also bought the kids a new trampoline this week, so that's been built at home, but this is all the cardboard left over, so I'm going to be using that. I'm going to put that down to suppress some weeds and then put a load of wood chip on top. I think it's going to go just over between those two raised beds there. I've always needed to get that under control. I did get told this week that some of my videos weren't in the best of quality. I thought that full HD was good enough, but apparently Ultra HD is the one. So I'm filming today's video in Ultra HD on the highest setting. So let's see if it makes a difference. If you do notice it's a bit clearer, please leave me a comment and let me know. Right, here's the view of the grapevine from outside, and you can see that some of it has already started trying to grow through the panes of glass. Now, if I don't sort this out, they will get bigger and bigger and eventually smash that glass. So it's time for a little bit of early summer pruning. Now, when I've tried to research this, I can't really find anything about early summer pruning. It's either seems to be winter pruning or late summer pruning or middle of summer. But as you can see, this grapevine now has already gone too big, too wild, and it's causing quite a bit of shading and darkness in the greenhouse. So I'm going to have to sort it out. So this is what I'm doing. I've never done it this early before, but I am going to now need to do some serious trimming. So what I'm going to do is on each you can see each new shoot that's come out. And if you'd seen if you saw my video over the winter, I trimmed back to each of these little nodules, and that is where now the new shoot comes from. Here is the bunch of grapes, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it back after the bunch of grapes. So I'm literally going to snip it there. And I'm just going to go around the whole thing doing the same. However, whenever I find a shoot like this, which I think, yeah, I want that to go up and over the structure of my greenhouse, I'm going to leave some of them on. So it's a bit of a combination of cutting back bits I don't want. So even though I want this shoot, I don't want that one. That's a side shoot of that. I don't want that one. And it's just about going around doing that everywhere. So if I find a shoot now like this, which is coming off here, I'm going to follow it up. He's got a bunch of grapes on him, and I'm going to just snip it after the bunch of grapes. As you can see, there's a couple on that one. I'm just going to go around removing as much as I possibly can. Up there is just a tangled mess. And if I don't sort this out now, that's all going to get too compacted. I won't even be able to see what I'm doing. That you can see by the darkness. Again, over here, I've got a side shoot that I want to go up this structure of the greenhouse. So he'll be on for next year. But the one next to it, here, I don't want that. So I'm going to take it off. And there's no grapes on that one. I'm going to take it off right close to the actual nodule. This one, I don't want it growing right across the glass. That's going to block off too much sun. So, but there is a bunch of grapes here. As you can see, I just snip that off here. Okay, so I'm going to go around and do the whole thing. So let's see what it looks like when I'm done. Just look at this one. He's growing all the way up here. He was growing in between the panes of glass. You can see how big he actually is. It was all the way down. And that is just knotted with everything else. But it does have a couple of bunches of grapes on him. So just like before, if I follow that up, there's the, I don't know if you call them a truss, but there's the bunch of grapes. And I'm going to snip it off after. There he is. Done. I think a bit of this glass needs a bit of a clean again. Mr. B has come in to get some pollen off the ends of each of the little bunches of grapes. I took this window out the back here just for a little bit of extra air. So surely, I'm sure he'll find his way out, either through the front door or through the window. But for now, he's collecting lots of pollen from each of the bunches of grapes. Okay, so already you can see the difference. A lot more light is now getting in. And what I've done is I've either saved on a new shoot, which has no grapes, but he's on there for structure, or I've trimmed every single one of the other shoots off that I don't want, which do have a bunch of grapes. As you can see, that's going to be a whopper of a bunch, that one. And they're just everywhere now. I've counted them. We've got over 60 bunches of grapes again. As I say, I've never done it this technique before, never trimmed it this early. So I hope I haven't done any damage. If I have, it'll be one of those experiments that we won't do again. But yeah, lots more light coming into the greenhouse now. All the bits that were growing into the panes, I've pulled them out so they won't be smashing my glass. It's still a little bit compacted up here, but each one, they've all got bunches of grapes on them, so I don't really want to take them off. I did, sadly, every time I cut back I get a bit carried away, and I've actually lost 3 bunches. simply the tangled mess does, you get a bit confused of where you're actually cutting. So I lost 3 bunches. But just to show you 6 weeks worth of growth. And there we have it. I am now going to try and take some cuttings, so I'll just show you how I'm going to do it. Okay, so I've mixed up a nice little mixture of half seed compost, which is nice and gritty, with half normal growing compost. I don't want it to be too dry, but also don't want the plants to be sitting in the wet. So to take cuttings of the grapevine, these are some of the branches I've just cut off. I took some of the really vigorous growing ones, so I wanted to see if they'll be the ones that grow the best. And it's literally about, I think, every 6 inches. What I'll do is I'll just chop them off, as you can see. Well, I'm just trying to do this one-handed, but basically what you want to do, like with any cuttings, you want to strip off any of the lower leaves and even that little tentacle. And then with my cuttings, I always prefer to put them down the side of the pot, so just so they're touching. And then now that he's in, I'll leave the leaf on. He's got to get some energy, and I'm going to take off that side shoot. So again, the next one, make sure these are going in the right way around. So I'll take just above a leaf, that'll do. I'm going to take off the lower leaves. Again, a bit tricky one-handed, but at least this one I know which way around he was. There we have it. That's the cutting, and then just down the side, poke it right in so it's a couple of inches in the soil. That just gives it more of a chance now to start rooting out the side and become its own plant. So there we have it. I've got some little ones, tried all different shapes and sizes, some with the tentacle left on, some just with the leaves, some with a side shoot, some with a double, and some taller ones. Now I'm just going to water them in, put them somewhere sheltered, and see which ones root and then become a brand new grapevine. So a bit of an experiment in this one. Never grown grapevines from cuttings before, but I am told it's quite easy. I don't know why putting it down the side of the pot so that it's touching the side. I don't know why that actually helps or works, but I've read that it does. Maybe it's because there's a bit more moisture that stays clinging to the side of the pot. Maybe the little cutting itself feels a bit more comfortable being next to something more firmer. Who knows? So just pop them there, somewhere quite secluded and sheltered, but it does still get a fair bit of sun. So give them a good watering in. They'll need some water straight away, otherwise they will dry out very quickly. So the fact that I'm doing this now in the evening, just hopefully they'll stay wet enough to start rooting as quickly as possible. So I'll keep you posted on them. We'll check back in on them in a couple of weeks' time, see if any of them have started regrowing themselves. Okay, thanks for watching, everyone. If you haven't yet subscribed, please remember to do so. It really does help the channel. And I'll see you on the next video. Take care, everyone. Enjoy the weather. Bye now.